let's take a look at the parts of a double bar graph. As you can see here, I've got a double bar graph. And so let's take a look at the different parts. Important part here is the title. The title is up here, and it describes what is going on in the graph. Now, good graphs often have long titles. So in this case, my title is Goals Scored by Bill and Ted in the Last 4 Years. That tells us a lot about what the graph is. Okay, so I've got my data, and I've got my bars, and I've got my vertical axes. My vertical axes right here, it's the goals. It starts at 0, it goes up to 25 goals. 25 goals at this line up here. And it goes up by 5 every 2 squares. So I'm just going to make a note of that over here, that 2 squares equals 5 goals. That is my scale of my vertical axes. Now this scale, it's a little bit strange because if 2 squares is 5 goals, then how much would 1 square be? It'd be 2.5 goals. And you can't score 2.5 goals in any sport that I know of, so nothing can be along this 2.5 goal line. Nor can it be along this one, which would be 7.5. So nothing can line up right along those lines. But it can line up on the 10 or on the 15. So you really have to interpolate where this line is. It's just a little bit above the 10. So it would be 11. All right, so our vertical axis label is goals, and we have a scale. 2 squares is 5 goals, or 1 square is 2.5 goals. Along the horizontal axes, we have our label year. There are 4 groups. You can see Group 1 for 2017, Group 2 for 2018, Group 3 for 2019, Group 4 for 2020. You can see that the bars in one group do not have a space in them. They're right close together, but the bars between 2 separate groups do have a space in them. So the bars from 2017, then there's a space, then there's the bars for 2018. And over on the right side, I have a key right over here. Bill is the pink, Ted is the blue. A double bar graph is very good at comparing 2 things. In this graph, we're comparing Bill's goal scoring to Ted's goal scoring. Now, I can ask questions like, how many more goals did Bill score than Ted in 2017? Well, to do that, I just look at Bill in 2017, and he scored, well, this line here is 22.5, so a little bit more than 22.5 would be 23 goals. 23 goals is what Bill scored. Ted scored a few more than 10. Well, the next number up from 10 is 11. So to figure out how many more goals Bill scored than Ted did, I would do 23 take away 11 to get 12 more goals. So you need to be able to read out the value for each bar on the graph and then answer questions about those values. Now, also, you need to be able to tell us about the trend in a graph. The trend. What is happening over time? Now, Bill has a trend, and Ted has a trend in this graph. We can take a look at Bill's trend. You can see that Bill, he's going down. Bill's trend is going down. So I'm just going to put a mark here that Bill's trend is going down. He is decreasing. Whereas Ted's trend is increasing. And he's increasing fairly regularly. So Ted's trend is that he is increasing. we can use the trends to make predictions about what would happen in the future. So in 2021, Ted, we would expect him to score maybe 30 goals as he's getting better and better. But Bill, in 2021, we'd expect him, he's getting worse and worse. He might only score, well, here he scored 9 in 2020, so he might score 7 or 6. And you can ask yourself, well, why are these trends happening? Well, maybe Bill is getting older, slower. He's not as good at hockey as he used to be, so his number of goals is going down. While Ted, he's getting stronger, faster, he's been training more, and so his goals per year is going up. Okay, so this is a double bar graph. It's important that you check every double bar graph you make for these things. Number 1, a main title that's descriptive. A vertical axis that has a scale, and that scale is even. A label for your vertical axes. A label for your horizontal axes. All your categories, all your groups are labeled. You have a key or a legend. The bars in a single group are together, but the bars between two groups are separate. Every time you make a double bar graph, make sure that you have those things. Now, in Microsoft Excel, when you make bar graphs, you might not be able to change how close the bars are together, and that'll be okay. You'll just make the graph as the program Microsoft Excel shows you. If you have any questions, please contact me as soon as possible, and thank you for watching.